everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic.com, back again with yet more exciting wrestling news. That's right, we have all sorts of news to look at from around the world of professional wrestling, from WWE, from AEW, and a bit of a New Japan story as well. It involves the cancellation of a show, so that one's not very exciting. That's actually sad news. So without any further ado, let's take a look at those lovely headlines. First of all, the SummerSlam location has been confirmed. Next up, we take a look at what it was like this week when fans returned to AEW Dynamite. And finally, we take a look at some more details regarding the WWE Network Special taking place just 1 week after SummerSlam. Yes, that's right, the SummerSlam location has indeed been reported on, and I think confirmed pretty much because so many sources have been reporting on it, from Davey Meltz to WrestleVotes to, I think, also Fightful had a little say in it as well. Those have been various different sources reporting on this news, and it's said to be taking place in Orlando, Florida, not far from home for WWE. Well, their lockdown home of the Performance Center. And internally, according to various different sources as well, the venue is said to be none other than the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida, which should be exciting for WWE, getting out of the Performance Center into a much bigger venue. But yet again, the only fans in attendance will be, WWE employees. Just to reiterate, there will be no tickets available for the show. All audience members will be WWE contracted talent. However, at the same time, it's a bit of a change, isn't it, from the story that we'd heard in the build-up to this confirmation. It was reported that WWE were looking to get out of Florida even. They were looking to get up to one of the northeastern states. There were reports that they were looking to do the show on a cruise ship, on a beach somewhere. There were reports that they were trying primarily to secure a venue or a location in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and then that all kind of got nixed. They ran into some difficulties reportedly there. So it seems as though WWE have instead found a venue in Orlando, Florida. The venue in Orlando, Florida, the wrestling venue, the Amway Center. I don't know what to make of it, because, to be honest, why were they looking for this? Was there a particular venue in Atlantic City that they really wanted to go for? Something by the sea, perhaps, or something? Why would they want to go for, a venue further away from where all their talent is based when they could have tried to secure, an arena in Orlando, first of all? I don't quite know, but it's nice, I suppose, to see a bit of a change for WWE visually. We'll see it look a lot bigger and grander than these recent shows in the Performance Center. SummerSlam's going to look way bigger than WrestleMania did, which is strange, isn't it? WWE have also got a pretty packed schedule for SummerSlam weekend. It's obviously traditionally one of the biggest shows of the year, and there's various events around it. On the Friday, SmackDown will emanate live from the Performance Center, and then the following night, I believe also from the Performance Center, will be NXT TakeOver 30. And it is expected that when this decision is absolutely finalized by WWE, an announcement will be made regarding SummerSlam, regarding the Amway Arena, the Amway Center. It's been reported as both names a lot on the internet from all the sources I've read, and I don't know which to go with. I think it used to be called the Amway Arena, now it's the Center. I don't know what's going on. Next up, let's talk about a bit of a curious news story here, courtesy of PW Insider, who say that WWE are keen on perhaps introducing virtual fans to their product. What? Yes, PW Insider have said that WWE is for the first time toying with using virtual fans as a possibility for future broadcasts, including SummerSlam, and WWE broadcast partner Fox has been already using virtual fans for their Major League Baseball broadcasts. There are no plans, of course, to sell tickets to fans at SummerSlam. Very strange. I had a look at a few of the examples of the MLB virtual fans, and it was kind of like watching a video game. It was very bizarre. And the question is, I suppose, if WWE do introduce virtual fans into proceedings, then are we going to, get a case where we're surplus to requirements? I mean, the virtual fans will cheer who they want them to cheer and boo who they want them to boo. Are we all going to just be left by the wayside? Are we going to enter a glorious new sterile era where there are no fans in attendance at all? Maybe that's just the way that a lot of professional wrestlers would like it. I'm joking, of course. I don't think there's any way that they would replace us with virtual fans. Come on now. Quite worried about it still, though. But no, I think it's quite a curious one. Imagine if we get the Amway Center filled with virtual fans cheering on, Dominic Mysterio taking on Seth Rollins. It's very weird. It's very strange. Then again, maybe it's going to be just the latest thing that's going to define this very bizarre lockdown era. Next up, let's talk about the network special that is taking place the week after SummerSlam. There's what used to be called a pay-per-view, just immediately the week after SummerSlam. Very strange scheduling there from WWE. Now, a few days ago, it was reported, well, first of all, back in June, I believe, Fightful was suggesting that this may be the case. There may be a network special happening 1 week after SummerSlam. And then WrestleVotes more recently revealed that that was probably going to be Payback. And now HeelByNature.com are saying that basically that's kind of confirmed. WWE is sending out promotional material to local, TV stations and that sort of thing. And it all seems to be geared towards Payback. I'm sorry, I should clarify, TV stations. Cable providers in Canada is where WWE has been sending this promotional material to. The promotional material involves, well, first of all, a bit of a brief blurb, a synopsis of the event, confirming that it is Payback. I'll read it out. Retaliation, vengeance, justice, redemption in one word, Payback. Don't miss all your favourite WWE superstars out for vengeance. Could be vengeance, really, but Payback had a capital P. And I don't think they'd bring vengeance back, which is a shame, because everybody loved a bit of vengeance. Vengeance is just such a better wrestling word, isn't it, than payback? Vengeance. It's so much better. I don't know why they don't... You know what, hashtag payback out, vengeance in. Let's get that trending now, please. Right, next up, speaking of fans, let's talk about some real fans, some real flesh and blood beings that are potentially going to be starting attending wrestling shows again in the near future. In fact, it's kind of already happened. Let's take a look at what happened when fans returned to AEW Dynamite this week. So, according to a report from Pro Wrestling Sheet that was also verified by Dave Bloody Meltzer, AEW had nearly 150 invited spectators in Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida this Wednesday night. However, if you watch Dynamite, you'll have seen that around the ring, in the first few rows around the ringside area, that was the usual, wrestlers surrounding the ring. The actual fans were further away. They were quite a distance away from the ring. And apparently there were several measures in place. So apparently they were spaced apart unless it was a predetermined, group of people who knew each other. Masks were mandatory throughout the event, and apparently security were doing regular checks to make sure that this was being followed, and also apparently the fans were also subject to temperature checks as well. It's unclear how these spectators were chosen. However, Jessie Davin, who often tweets about AEW on Twitter, was in attendance, and she claimed that she'd found access through a non-wrestling associate of hers. She also said that, yes, she said it was a non-wrestling related connection. A Reddit user also that claims to work at Daly's Place said people were able to get tickets if you worked for the venue sponsor, and the capacity, or sponsors, and the capacity was limited to around 100 people, less than the reported 150, so I'm not sure where the actual figure lies. So interesting stuff. It just seems like wrestling is trying to move back to normal, certainly North American wrestling, with WWE moving to a bigger arena even though there'll be no fans in attendance, AEW inviting spectators along to watch the action. But I guess it all depends on whether the world is ready for that yet. You can't go forcing it, I suppose, if the world isn't ready to return to that state. But, it is a glimmer of hope, I suppose, on the horizon, and hopefully things continue to move naturally in that direction. And finally, we'll have to end on some sad news, unfortunately, as New Japan Pro Wrestling have cancelled one of their Summer Struggle events scheduled for yesterday. It was supposed to happen in Uwajima. Unfortunately for the fans there, the event was just scrapped. What was the reason behind that, though? Well, New Japan have provided a statement saying, unfortunately, one of the wrestlers scheduled to appear had developed a fever. The wrestler immediately undertook additional COVID-19 testing, but New Japan Pro Wrestling is still awaiting results. Under New Japan's coronavirus guidelines and acting in the best interests of health and safety for other wrestlers and fans in attendance, the decision was made to cancel tonight's event. It was a non-televised show. It was kind of a house show, but it was set to feature 6 multi-man tag team matches headlined by the teams of Evil, Taiji Ishimori and Dick Togo, the Bullet Club team, taking on Tetsuya Naito, Hiromu Takahashi and Bushi, the LIJ team. As of now, New Japan is set to run another house show on Sunday, and then on set to return to air until August 26th, kick-off to the King of Pro Wrestling tournament. So hopefully by then, everything is okay. And that's it for the news. Thank you very much for watching this video. Check out Tom's earlier video today if you want to catch up on more news, and leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I've been Jack from Cultaholic.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon.